The year 2023 cemented K2's reputation as one of the most formidable and unforgiving peaks in the world. On July 27th, the mountaineering community experienced both highs and lows, a day filled with record-breaking accomplishments and heart-wrenching loss. K2, often referred to as the Savage Mountain, lived up to its notorious name once again. One of the most harrowing and iconic features of K2 is the Bottleneck, a deadly section of the mountain that has claimed countless lives over the past 5 decades. This overhanging serac is both awe-inspiring and terrifying, demanding the utmost respect from anyone daring to cross its path. For climbers in 2023, the Bottleneck proved its dangers once more, leaving an indelible mark on the history of the mountain. Among those challenging the peak were renowned climbers Kristen Harila and Tenzin Lama Sherpa, who sought to conquer the summit and rewrite the record books. Kristen Harila and Lama Sherpa were no ordinary climbers. Together, they had already summited 13 of the world's 14 8,000-meter peaks. With K2 standing as their final challenge, their mission was nothing short of extraordinary: to become the fastest climbers to summit all 14 of the world's tallest mountains. This feat demanded unparalleled skill, endurance, and determination. The duo's journey, which had been years in the making, would push the limits of human capability and mountaineering excellence. Although Kristen and Lama had the support of an extensive team, including Sherpas, other climbers, and a dedicated camera crew documenting their every step, another individual was blazing the trail to the summit. Muhammad Hassan, a Pakistani porter, was tasked with fixing ropes and clearing the path in the death zone above 8,000 meters. Tragically, he would pay the ultimate price on K2's slopes. His story highlights the perilous and often overlooked role of high-altitude porters on some of the world's most dangerous mountains. To reach the summit, climbers must navigate the Bottleneck, a narrow couloir overshadowed by massive, unstable ice formations. While it is considered the safest route to the top, the Bottleneck has been the site of numerous fatalities, solidifying its reputation as one of the deadliest features on the mountain. Since 2021, the growing popularity of mountaineering has led to a surge in expedition companies offering climbers the chance to tackle the world's tallest peaks for a hefty fee. While this boom has opened opportunities for adventurers, it has also created significant challenges. The influx of inexperienced climbers has increased the demand for Sherpas and porters, particularly on treacherous mountains like K2 and Everest. In response, many local men, eager to provide for their families, have taken up high-altitude porter jobs despite limited experience. While these individuals often display remarkable physical resilience, the lack of proper training and preparation exposes them to extreme risks. A devoted husband and father of 3, Muhammad took on the dangerous role of a high-altitude porter to support his family and pay for his ailing mother's medical treatment. Muhammad Hassan's work ethic and natural ability earned him praise from climbers who noticed his determination. However, his lack of experience was a concern. Before 2023, Muhammad had only been to K2's base camp and had never climbed the mountain itself. Despite this, he was hired by Layla Peak Expedition to serve as a high-altitude porter during the 2023 climbing season. For Muhammad, the job represented an opportunity to earn more money than he could as a regular porter, making it a risk he was willing to take. On K2, high-altitude porters play a critical role in ensuring the success of expeditions. They are tasked with fixing ropes, carrying supplies, and trailblazing routes through some of the mountain's most dangerous sections. These tasks require not only physical strength, but also experience, as they often involve working in knee-deep snow, dodging avalanches, and enduring the constant threat of falling ice from the Bottleneck. As Muhammad and his team worked tirelessly to secure the route above 8,000 meters, another group of climbers was preparing to make history. Kristen Harila and Lama Sherpa's mission to break the record for the fastest ascent of all 14 8,000-meter peaks had reached its final stage. Kristen and Lama's quest to conquer the world's tallest peaks began in 2022, with Kristen summiting 12 of the 14 mountains. However, delays in obtaining permits for Cho-Oyu and Shishapangma forced her to postpone the final 2 climbs until 2023. Determined to complete her mission, Kristen began the year with an ascent of Shishapangma, followed by Cho-Oyu just 6 days later. From there, the pair continued their relentless pace, summiting Makalu 10 days later and Everest on May 23rd, just 26 days into their expedition. By July 12th, Kristen and Lama had conquered 8 more peaks, putting them on track to break the previous record of 6 months and 6 days. Their final challenge, K2, awaited them in late July. However, the mountain's harsh weather conditions and heavy snowfall made for a particularly challenging season. The only day the mountain would grant climbers a chance to reach the peak that season. With this narrow opportunity, over 150 climbers began their ascent toward higher altitudes, eager to make history. This sudden surge caused inevitable complications. Heavy snowfall left layers of unstable powder on the slopes, which typically require 24 to 36 hours to bond with the existing snow to reduce the risk of avalanches. But with only one viable day for a summit attempt, no one was willing to wait. On July 26th, around 6 p.m., the rope-fixing team, including Muhammad Hassan, departed Camp 3 to make their way toward the infamous Bottleneck. Conditions on K2 this season were especially brutal. Camp 4, typically a key staging point, was rendered unusable due to severe weather, forcing climbers to undertake a much longer journey to the summit from lower camps. Sherpas later noted that Muhammad lacked adequate gear and clothing for the extreme altitudes, but he was determined to contribute and support the team's efforts. Despite the challenges, the group pressed on, knowing they were the only hope for enabling others to summit. As the climbers pushed through deep snow and past the remnants of a deserted Camp 4, they approached the towering Sirac that looms ominously over the Bottleneck. Behind them, over 100 climbers began to follow, giving the rope-fixing team a slight head start to secure the path. By midnight, the route from Camp 3 to the summit was crowded, with climbers forming long lines in their quest to reach the top. As the climbers neared the Bottleneck, Muhammad Hassan faced devastating misfortune. Somewhere on the treacherous traverse, he slipped and fell, becoming tangled in his rope. His oxygen mask was damaged, leaving him vulnerable to the unforgiving conditions of the death zone. Despite the efforts of a Sherpa and a cameraman from another team to help him back onto the trail, Muhammad was critically injured. He could no longer move on his own, lying helpless on the slope. Muhammad's situation became even more dire as climbers attempting to summit began encountering him on the narrow traverse. With no room to pass, they were forced to climb over his body, leaving him behind as they continued toward the peak. Photographs from the scene are deeply unsettling, showing lines of climbers stepping over Muhammad as he lay motionless and struggling to breathe. For 3 agonizing hours, Muhammad remained on the slope. During this time, he was repeatedly buried by avalanches and uncovered by climbers' boots as they passed over him. Eventually, he succumbed to his injuries and the harsh environment. His death was a stark reminder of the brutal realities of high-altitude mountaineering. While Muhammad's tragic story unfolded, the summit attempts continued. At 10:45 a.m. on July 27, Kristen Harla and Lama Sherpa reached the peak of K2, completing their incredible mission to summit all 14 of the world's 8,000-meter peaks in record time, 3 months and 1 day. Their achievement was monumental, showcasing their extraordinary skill, endurance, and determination. However, the triumph of Kristen and Lama's record-breaking ascent was overshadowed by the tragedy of Muhammad Hassan's death. The haunting images of climbers stepping over Muhammad's body sparked outrage and debate within the mountaineering community. While some celebrated the duo's historic accomplishment, others questioned how the culture of high-altitude climbing could allow such an incident to occur. It's a sobering reminder of the sacrifices made by those who work behind the scenes to support the ambitions of others. As K2 continues to challenge and inspire climbers from around the globe, it also serves as a stark reminder of the human cost of these pursuits. Muhammad Hassan's story is one of determination and sacrifice, but it is also a call to reflect on how the mountaineering community values and supports those who risk everything to help others achieve their dreams.